Welcome back to Dronacharya IAS YouTube channel. I am Dr. Daman Benipal and I'll be presenting you today daily current analysis covering 30th July 2022. इस वीडियो लेक्चर में हम आज के इम्पॉर्टेंट करंट अफेयर्स डिस्कस करेंगे जो कि हमारी सिविल सर्विसेज प्रिपरेशन पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से इम्पॉर्टेंट हैं. सो लेट्स बिगिन विद इट. So let's start with our first news article today, which is about Hambantota Port. Well, this Hambantota Port, this is present in Sri Lanka. Hambantota Port is a very important port in Sri Lanka. ये बहुत ऑफनली न्यूज़ में रहता है एंड इस तरह के क्वेश्चंस आपको आपके प्रीलिम्स एग्जाम में मिल जाते हैं बिकॉज वी सर्टेनली फाउंड सम क्वेश्चंस विच आर रिलेटेड टू द प्लेसेस विच वर इन न्यूज़. So again, one of the important place which is in news today is Hambantota Port. सबसे पहले कॉन्टेक्स्ट समझ लेते हैं, न्यूज़ समझ लेते हैं that why Hambantota Port is in news. So there was a report which was indicating that there is a Chinese research vessel and this Chinese research vessel would enter into the Hambantota Port of Sri Lanka. कि चाइना की एक रिसर्च वेसल है और इस रिसर्च वेसल में स्पेस एंड सैटेलाइट ट्रैकिंग को लेकर ये पूरी की पूरी रिसर्च वेसल है एंड दिस विल बी एंटरिंग इनटू द श्रीलंका's Hambantota Port. And the report suggested that in this year only, in August month, this Chinese research vessel can enter the Hambantota Port. अब इसे लेकर इंडिया ने बहुत ही एक क्लियर मैसेज सेंड कर दिया था दैट इंडिया इज़ मॉनिटरिंग द शिप्स प्रोग्रेस वेरी केयरफुली एंड इसे लेकर अब श्रीलंका का जो डिफेंस मिनिस्ट्री है उन्होंने इस रिपोर्ट को डिनाई कर दिया है. दे हैव डिनाइड कि ऐसी कोई भी चाइनीज़ रिसर्च वेसल हम्बनटोटा पोर्ट में नहीं पहुंच रही है जिसमें इस तरह की स्पेस और सैटेलाइट ट्रैकिंग की जाएगी. तो ये न्यूज़ का कॉन्टेक्स्ट है, इसे थोड़ा और डिटेल में देखते हैं. कुछ प्रीवियसली भी ऐसे इंसिडेंट्स हुए हैं ऑन रिगार्डिंग द सेम एस्पेक्ट, तो वो भी हम यहाँ पे कवर करेंगे. So in this article, first of all, we'll see the context of the news and then we'll follow the map work as well. So as we said कि ये रिपोर्ट आई और इंडिया ने एक क्लियर कट मैसेज दे दिया श्रीलंका को कि इंडिया इस शिप की प्रोग्रेस को केयरफुली मॉनिटर कर रहा है एंड ये वेसल की अराइवल होने वाली है. इसे बेसिकली एक हमारे पास कोलंबो बेस्ड ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है विच बेसिकली स्टडीज़ द चाइनाज एम्बिशियस कनेक्टिविटी प्रोजेक्ट. चाइना के जितने भी कनेक्टिविटी प्रोजेक्ट्स चल रहे हैं उसके ऊपर पूरा फोकस्ड एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है विच इज़ कोलंबो बेस्ड ओनली, विच इज़ BRISL, द बेल्ट एंड रोड इनिशिएटिव श्रीलंका. So this Colombo based organization basically highlighted that the vessel could arrive to Hambantota very soon in the month of August. Now यहाँ पे अगर हम समझें तो इंडिया का बहुत ही एक ट्रेडिशनली बहुत स्टर्न व्यू रहा है इन टर्म्स ऑफ द प्रेजेंस ऑफ चाइनीज़ मिलिट्री इन द इंडियन ओशन. एंड यहाँ पे जो चाइना का जो डुअल पर्पस वेसल्स हैं इसे हमेशा इंडिया सस्पेक्ट करता आया है एंड इसे लेकर पहले भी हमारे जो मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ एक्सटर्नल अफेयर्स हैं दे हैव प्रोटेस्टेड सच विजिट्स विद श्रीलंका इन द पास्ट एज वेल. We always have this we always suspect that the Chinese military or their dual purpose vessels, when they're entering into Indian Ocean, it is a matter of concern towards India. Because when we talk about Indian Ocean, so this is the region of India and we do not want the presence of Chinese military in our neighborhood, right? So that is the issue over here basically. Now this is not the first time that this kind of incident has took the limelight. If we go back to 2014, even in 2014, Sri Lanka allowed the Chinese nuclear powered submarine जिसका नाम था Changzhen II. So there was this Changzhen II, it is a nuclear powered submarine and Sri Lanka allowed this submarine in Colombo. And this particular thing became a very diplomatic flashpoint between India and Sri Lanka and India expressed serious concerns about this. तो 2014 में भी श्रीलंका इस तरह की न्यूक्लियर पावर्ड सबमरीन को अलाउ कर चुका था कि वो आपके श्रीलंका में कोलंबो में पहुंचेगा, लेकिन तब भी इंडिया और श्रीलंका के बीच में इस इशू को लेकर एक काफ़ी फ्लैश पॉइंट रेज हुआ था. After that, even in 2019, Indian Navy pushed out a Chinese naval ship जिसका नाम था Shi Yang 1. So the Shi Yang 1 ये Chinese naval ship थी and it came very close to the Andaman Islands. तो तब भी सेम इसी तरह का इशू हुआ that we don't want Chinese military presence in our neighborhood. And then there were 2 Chinese research vessels in Indian Ocean as well near Andaman Islands again. तो उस टाइम पे भी जो करंट सिनेरियो चल रहा है, करंटली जो कहा जा रहा है कि एक सैटेलाइट ट्रैकिंग शिप हम्बनटोटा पोर्ट में चाइना भेज सकता है, इसी तरह का कंसर्न तब भी रेज हुआ था जब अंडमान आइलैंड्स के पास से भी चाइना के जो रिसर्च वेसल्स हैं वो मिले थे। तो ये इस तरह का जो कंसर्न है, अब देखो श्रीलंका इज़ हाईली इंडेटेड टू चाइना एंड वहाँ पे इस तरह से रिसर्च वेसल्स का आना और जिसमें स्पेशली सैटेलाइट ट्रैकिंग शिप्स जो हों, ऐसे वेसल्स हों, इट्स अ बिग थ्रेट फॉर इंडिया सिक्योरिटी एज वेल. So it is very inherent that India will take a stern, step towards it, and India always objects to it, and it always, raises a flashpoint between India and Sri Lanka. The same kind of happened now, but right now Sri Lanka has completely denied कि ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, हम्बनटोटा पोर्ट में ऐसी कोई भी रिसर्च वेसल नहीं आ रही है, राइट? तो ये न्यूज़ थी बच्चे. अब देखो यहाँ से आपको ये जो बैकग्राउंड है ये कोई नहीं पूछेगा, ये हम इसलिए डिस्कस करते हैं ताकि आपके माइंड में एक स्टोरी आई जिससे आपको पता चले कि या वाई हम्बनटोटा पोर्ट इज़ इम्पॉर्टेंट, वाई हम्बनटोटा पोर्ट वाज इन न्यूज़. ओके, basically what is important from our preparation point of view basically is, first of all, the location of Hambantota port if I talk about prelims. Otherwise, the significance of Hambantota port, how it plays a very game changing role in India Sri Lanka relationship, China and Sri Lanka's relation, all of these things you discuss in your international relations class. So suppose now see, Sri Lanka is in news, right, due to various reasons, and one of the important reasons that we were discussing Sri Lanka was because of the economic crisis that the Sri Lanka is facing now. Amid that, Hambantota port is one such topic which brings our attention towards this triple relation, this triangular relationship between Sri Lanka and India, and Sri Lanka and China and India. तो ये जो ट्रायंगल है इसके अंदर श्रीलंका का बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट रोल है, और श्रीलंका में भी बहुत सारे पोर्ट्स हैं और उनमें से एक इम्पॉर्टेंट पोर्ट है हम्बनटोटा पोर्ट. ओके, सो हियर लुक एट द लोकेशन ऑफ हम्बनटोटा पोर्ट फर्स्ट. आप देखेंगे कि बिल्कुल आपका जो श्रीलंका है उसके सदर्न साइड में आपको हम्बनटोटा पोर्ट मिलेगा, एंड द लोकेशन ऑफ दिस पोर्ट इज़ वेरी क्रिटिकल. The location of this port is extremely critical. It lies on an important energy supply line. ये जो पोर्ट है ये एक पूरी important energy supply line के ऊपर लाई करता है. So it basically connects the West Asia, the region rich in oil and gas, basically oil. West Asia, if you connect West Asia with that of East Asia or Southeast Asia, the route goes through Hambantota port. So the location is very critical. It is located right in the middle of this vital energy supply line in the Indian Ocean, which basically connects your West Asia and East Asia. ओके, ये चीज़ याद रखेंगे. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दिस, इट इज़ अ वेरी डीप वाटर पोर्ट एंड it lies almost at the southern tip of the Sri Lanka. Now, what is the history? See, in 2017, Sri Lanka leased this port to China's merchant port holding. बेसिकली क्या हुआ, श्रीलंका ने चाइना से लोन ले रखा था, लेकिन अब श्रीलंका की इकोनॉमिक सिचुएशन आपको पता है, 2017 में भी ज़्यादा कुछ डिफरेंट नहीं थी. वहीं से आते आते ये सिचुएशन आ चुकी है कि BOP क्राइसिस श्रीलंका में है. सो इन 2017 एज वेल श्रीलंका वाज नॉट एबल टू कीप इट्स लोन रीपेमेंट कमिटमेंट. तो लोन की जो रिपेमेंट थी वो कर नहीं पा रहा था श्रीलंका. एंड it was basically at that point of time when Sri Lanka leased Hambantota port to China. There's this China Merchant Port Holding जिसको श्रीलंका ने इस पोर्ट को लीज कर दिया है. एंड इट बेसिकली नाउ दिस इज द थिंग वाई, अब ये हम्बनटोटा पोर्ट है तो श्रीलंका में, लेकिन 2017 में श्रीलंका ने चाइना को लीज पे दे दिया. So this basically fan out the fear that this port can be potentially used by China for military purposes, and the presence of China in the Indian Ocean, just in the neighborhood of India with military presence, is a critical issue, a critical concern for India. Are you understanding? And this is the reason why Hambantota port as such, whenever we talk about, see, China's the policy that the China is following right now, and here Hambantota port comes as a perfect example. पहले चाइना ने लोन दिया श्रीलंका को, श्रीलंका लोन वापस नहीं कर पा रहा था, तो श्रीलंका से जो हम्बनटोटा पोर्ट था वो उसको लीज पे दे दिया चाइना को. अब चाइना उसे मिलिट्री प्रेजेंस के लिए यूज़ कर सकता है, इंडिया के लिए खतरा बन सकता है. एंड देयरफॉर व्हेन सच काइंड ऑफ रिपोर्ट्स कम, इंडिया very firmly take a very stern stand for that. All right. So again, in your atlas, please do mark Hambantota. Okay. Now इस तरह के questions आते हैं. अभी हमारा जो latest prelims हुआ है, 2022 prelims जो हुआ है, उसमें there was this question. कहा गया था that sometimes a place is mentioned in news which is Senkaku Islands. देखो इस तरह question आया था. Senkaku Islands recently in news. बताओ इसे लेकर कौन कौन सी statements true हैं. और statement इसी के ऊपर बेस्ड थी कि कहाँ पे लाई करता है, कौन कौन से कंट्रीज़ के बीच में डिस्प्यूट है. दैट इज़ इट. तो देयरफॉर वी ऑलवेज ट्राई, जब भी आप करंट अफेयर्स कर रहे हैं, ऑलवेज लुक फॉरवर्ड टू द सिग्निफिकेंट प्लेसेस विच आर इन न्यूज़, एंड टुडेज वन वाज हम्बनटोटा. मूविंग अहेड, our next article is important from GS paper 1 if we relate it to society and population, and as well as GS paper 2 if we relate it to government policies and intervention. So recently, Union Health Ministry has released Family Planning Vision 2030, and this entire article is related to that only. So here we'll talk about, the main heading is National Family Planning Summit 2022. तो इस नेशनल फैमिली प्लानिंग समिट के दौरान इंडिया का फैमिली प्लानिंग 2030 विजन डॉक्यूमेंट जो है वो रिलीज किया गया है. सो इट्स इम्पॉर्टेंट. इन योर मेंस, पॉपुलेशन इज अ टॉपिक. इन पॉपुलेशन, फैमिली प्लानिंग इज अ बिग पार्ट ऑफ दिस. So India has released its vision document with respect to the family planning. So what would be the better way to study family planning without this vision document, right? So in this article we'll discuss, सबसे पहले हम देखेंगे कि summit के अंदर और क्या क्या हुआ apart from the release of this vision document for family planning 2030, और कौन कौन से इस summit के highlights क्या थे वो देखेंगे, and then we'll see the major key points which are enshrined in this vision document related to family planning. Okay, let's begin with this. This topic is very important from mains point of view. देखो prelims में भी question आ सकता है directly, इस जो vision है, document है, इसकी जो major findings हैं उसे लेकर one liner question तो आपके prelims में भी आ सकता है. Apart from that, if you're thinking about family planning and there's a question that pops up in mains, I think this particular vision document would be the best reference point, right, to make your points clear over there. So let's begin with this. सबसे पहले इस summit के highlights से शुरुआत करते हैं. So this summit, as it relates to health and family welfare, so this is under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, and during this event there's this Minister of State for Health and Family Welfare. He introduced various initiatives. जैसे कि हमने कहा सबसे पहले तो vision document release किया गया. Apart from that, there was this launching of medical eligibility criteria wheel application. इसे भी इस दौरान launch किया गया. Then there is e-module for family planning logistic management system. That initiative was also released during this summit. Then digital archive on the family planning. This goes under the category of digital intervention. That was also released here. And then a helpline manual was released, a community health officer booklet was introduced, and ASHA brochure and some leaflets were also introduced. What is important over here for us is to know about the India's Family Planning 2030 vision document. So this is the most important topic that we'll see over here. So let's begin with it. सबसे पहले हम यहाँ पे बात करेंगे पॉपुलेशन एस्टिमेट्स की. इट रिलेट्स टू पॉपुलेशन. राइट नाउ इंडिया इज द second largest country in the world in terms of population. We have the second largest population in the world, and the country's population is expected to grow till the mid of this century, and this is mainly because of the population momentum. But after that the population growth will decline substantially. तो अभी भी grow कर रही है, and this will continue to grow till mid of this century, but then it will decline substantially. And therefore जिस तरीके से अभी currently grow कर रही है, the estimates are by 2023 will be the largest country in the world in terms of population. But right now this report consider itself as the second largest country in the world. In this report, some priority areas were identified, which are basically, we need some strategy to overcome the teenage childbearing. जो teenage childbearing हो रही है, we need to overcome this, because when we talk about family planning, a proper age and everything, in this teenage childbearing comes as a concern. So we need some strategy through which we can overcome this problem as well. And then there is another thing, that whenever we talk about awareness programs which relate to family planning, in such kind of programs there is lack of male participation. So we need to address this as well, that whenever there is the awareness programs which relate to family planning, there has to be more male participation just like women participation. Migration is also an important issue. And then also the lack of access to the contraceptives, because when we talk about the family planning, here the migration and contraceptives, both of these has an important role. In this vision document, there's also this plan to use private sector so that we can provide modern contraceptives. Okay. अब आउटकम क्या है? अब देखो इंडिया के अंदर फैमिली प्लानिंग एफर्ट्स काफ़ी टाइम से चल रहे हैं. सो व्हाट आर द आउटकम्स ऑफ इट? हमने थोड़ी देर पहले भी इसे डिस्कस किया था व्हेन वी टॉकिंग अबाउट द नेशनल हेल्थ सर्वे. जब हमारा आया था तो उस टाइम पे भी हमने इसे डिस्कस किया था. सो वी नो दैट वी हैव अचीव्ड आवर रिप्लेसमेंट लेवल फर्टिलिटी. देयर आर as many as 31 states and UTs which have the total fertility rate of 2.1 or less. तो जो रिप्लेसमेंट लेवल फर्टिलिटी है, रिप्लेसमेंट लेवल मतलब दैट नंबर ऑफ पॉपुलेशन विच विल रिप्लेस इटसेल्फ. तो जितने नंबर ऑफ इंडिविजुअल्स अभी हैं, इसके बाद उतने ही नंबर ऑफ इंडिविजुअल्स आगे आए. दिस इज कॉल्ड एज रिप्लेसमेंट. तो यहाँ पे जो टोटल फर्टिलिटी रेट है हमारा वो 2.1 पे पहुँच चुका है, रादर 2.1 से भी डिक्रीज हो रहा है. तो we have achieved our replacement level fertility goals. And also if we see the use of modern contraceptives, so between 2012 and 2020 there is increased usage of modern contraceptives. There are more than 1.5 crore additional users for the modern contraceptives, and therefore it increases their use substantially. So on one way our replacement level fertility has decreased, our total fertility rate has decreased, and alongside the use of modern contraceptives has increased. And if we talk about the positive birth spacing, जो spacing method है between one child and the second, so government data basically shows that there is a positive shift towards it. There is a positive scenario when it comes towards the birth spacing methods, and it is basically impacting the maternal and infant mortality and morbidity rates as well. when there is a proper gap, when there is proper spacing between the two child, so it improves the maternal health and also the infant health, and it ultimately decreases the maternal mortality rate, infant mortality rate, and even the morbidity data as well. So overall, in terms of the family planning efforts, India has done significantly good. But yet again, we have some issues and challenges as well. There are so many factors that has been identified which explain still there is general low use of contraceptives. And this is mainly among the married adolescents and young women. And here the most important factor is child marriage and teenage pregnancy. So lack of awareness, lack of maturity, child marriage and teenage pregnancy, all these data, they indicate the low use of contraceptives. And as we just said in the beginning, in the priorities that has been identified in the vision document, one of the priority is the teenage childbearing. So in some areas of the country, the teenage fertility is high. It is even high than the fertility rate that has been stabilized all across the country. It is even higher than that. And if we compare, so in 2015 and 16, the teenage childbearing was around 7.9%, and it has reduced minimally to 6.8% in 2019 and 21. So still overall in India, there is high numbers for the teenage fertility and high number for the teenage childbearing cases, and this is a big concern towards our efforts to manage the family planning. And in this regard, we also have some state specific data. So if we talk about teenage pregnancies, so there is high percentage of such kind of pregnancy which is mostly in Bihar, West Bengal, Assam, Maharashtra, Jharkhand, Andhra Pradesh and Tripura. So these are few states in which we see that the cases of teenage pregnancies are mostly concentrated. Bihar, West Bengal, Assam, Maharashtra, these are the major states. And apart from this, if we talk about child marriage, there are over 44% of the districts in India in which there are reports coming that there is high percentage of women marrying before they reach the age of 18. So still the percentage of child marriage is high in some of the districts in India, and these districts are mainly again mostly from the same states: Bihar, West Bengal, Jharkhand, Assam, UP, Rajasthan, Maharashtra, almost the same states which has the high number of teenage pregnancy, and both of these things explain each other. And all of these, so see, all these states have high number of teenage pregnancies, and mostly all of these states have major number of child marriages as well, and coincidentally all of these districts also have the low rates of contraceptives use as well, right? So all these three factors are combining each other. So these are the major concerns, some important issues when it comes to the national family planning vision. Apart from this, see, whenever you're preparing for this topic, you should know about what are India's efforts towards the family planning and population control. So some of the important schemes becomes important over here, like we have National Program for Family Planning. So India was the first country in the world to launch a national program for family planning. Yes, we sometimes feel hard to believe कि ऐसे कैसे हो सकता है. We launched this family planning program in 1952, and India was the first country in the world to launch this program, because at that point of time India's total fertility rate was 6, and today we have declined this to 2.1, right? So when this program was commenced, our total fertility rate was 6. And now over the decades, this program has undergone a lot of transformation in terms of policy and in terms of the actual implementation of this program as well. So currently, if we talk about what is the objective of this program, the only objective is to achieve population stabilization goals. We need to stabilize our population now. Instead of incremental increase or decrease in that, we need to stabilize it. And apart with this, we need to promote the reproductive health. We need to reduce the maternal, infant and child mortality as well as morbidity. So therefore, under this program, your public health sector, they provide various family planning services at various levels of your health system. Now, there's one more thing. Whenever we talk about family planning program, we always compare India's program with that of China. See, this comparison with China is basically misplaced. Because in China, this family planning was done using force. And for 3.5 decades, China followed one child policy. And even the implementation was with a lot of stringent measures. Whereas governments in India, we except for a brief lapse into the forced sterilization, emergency के दौरान forced sterilization की हमारे पास brief lapse आता है. In contrast to that, we have not followed the force one child policy or two child policy. We have deployed persuasion and education as tool. So China's family planning and India's family planning, both of them are different. Okay. Apart from the National Program for Family Planning, we also have Mission Parivar Vikas. So this Mission Parivar Vikas it basically focuses to improve the access of contraceptives and family planning services, especially in the high fertility districts. There were 7 high focus states which was recognized by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, and then in 2016 Mission Parivar Vikas was launched. तो इससे जो नेशनल फैमिली प्लानिंग प्रोग्राम था उसको फर्दर और एक बूस्ट मिल गया. तो जो हाई फर्टिलिटी डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स हैं उनके ऊपर स्पेशल फोकस रख के वहाँ पे कॉन्ट्रासेप्टिव्स के एक्सेस को बढ़ाया जाता है, फैमिली प्लानिंग सर्विसेज को बढ़ाया जाता है. इसके थ्रू फैमिली प्लानिंग को ओवरऑल मैनेज किया जाता है. देखो, इंडिया का जो गोल था कि हमारी जो ओवरऑल फर्टिलिटी रेट है दैट हैज़ टू बी रिड्यूस्ड टू 2.1 बाय 2025. इस जो मिशन परिवार विकास से बहुत सारी स्ट्रैटेजीज आ जाती हैं, जैसे कि नई पहल किट्स, सास बहू सम्मेलन, सारथी वंस, इस तरीके के इनिशिएटिव्स करवाए जाते हैं सो दैट यू कैन रीच डाउन टू द कम्युनिटी, सो दैट यू कैन एक्चुअली इनिशिएट द डायलॉग ऑन फैमिली प्लानिंग. What is healthy birth spacing? What is the importance of small family? So it is done through awareness. And such kind of initiatives, such kind of innovative strategies are followed for that. And then there is also this हम दो हमारे दो. ये भी नेशनल फैमिली प्रोग्राम का एम था, हम दो. दिस बेसिकली एम्स कि जो भी एलिजिबल कपल हैं उनको प्रॉपर इन्फॉर्मेशन और गाइडेंस प्रोवाइड की जाए about the family planning methods and services which are available, and to ensure that individual and couple they lead a healthy, happy and prosperous life. So यहाँ पे जो फ्रंट लाइन वर्कर्स हैं उनका रोल भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाता है. द फ्रंट लाइन वर्कर्स लाइक आशा, द ऑक्सिलरी नर्स, मिडवाइफ, ANM, they has to be technical and beyond. They should be trained in such a way that they can give counseling for contraceptive technologies. They can address the myths and misconceptions which basically prevail around the use of the modern contraception and the social stigma around it. We need to train the ashas and the auxiliary nurse midwives in that regard as well. Then the service delivery. We need to make sure that the quality services is reaching the last mile. Services need to be geographically convenient. And also there has to be the shared responsibility of men and women. In many parts of the world, including India, family planning is largely viewed as a women's issue. No, it has to be a shared responsibility of both men and women. And there needs to be a greater recognition of the fact that the decision making on contraceptive use is a shared responsibility. And lastly, we need a collective engagement. For the success of India's family planning program, which will basically be shouldered by the researchers, policy makers, service providers, users, who will need to do their part so that there is equitable access to quality family planning services. So it's a very important topic that was in news today. So that is all for this video. आज की इस वीडियो के लिए इतना ही. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you all in my next one. Thank you so much.